So you might be wondering if this whole manifestation thing is for you, and if it is, why is it not working? If that's the case, stay tuned. What's up, everyone? I'm back with Jack, and we're going to be talking about manifestation today and why it's not working for you. I look around YouTube right now, and there's, honest to God, just so many videos on manifestation and how to do this, how to do that. I've watched so many of them. And no, I'm not claiming to be a manifestation expert by any means, but I see a lot of people online claiming to be manifestation experts. There are people who are saying, I have no trouble right now, like manifesting something like that in a matter of minutes, but never ever are they actually giving you any proof. Yes, maybe they have a really nice background behind them. Maybe they have a really nice apartment in the background. Maybe they're in an exotic location and they're just having a good time, or they're in a good place and they're saying, oh, I'm really great at manifesting this and that, and I'm just really good at it, but they don't really give you any specifics. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, the level of skepticism, the level of logic in your brain is kicking in at some point after watching 2, 3, 4 of these videos and saying, okay, great. You keep saying that you're great at manifestation, but you're not giving us any examples. You're just telling us to keep at it, keep working, keep up the effort. If it's not working, it's because you're doing this. If it's not working, it's because you're doing that. Always, always, always shifting the blame to you and putting the impetus, the amount of responsibility on your shoulders for why it's not working. And if that's the case, let's be honest, it's just never going to work. Because if these people don't ever need to actually prove something to you, then what's the point? What's the point? Any of us could get online and say, I'm a billionaire. I mean, I don't have to prove it to you, right? Because I'm just telling you, I'm a billionaire. If I say that I'm a manifestation expert, I specialize in manifestation. If I'm specializing in manifestation, I tell you one thing, I'm not charging you for classes, because if I'm a specialist in manifestation, I know that there's an abundance of money out there. I know that there's abundance of riches. I know that there's an abundance of almost everything in this world. I can have anything I want. Therefore, I don't need to do anything but just give, right? That just means I need to just give to you without any expectation in return. But there's one guy in particular I even think about who claims to be a manifestation expert, and yet he's saying, I've got the cheapest prices around, use me, use my services. It's only going to cost you £5. Like, come on, man. Seriously? If you're this desperate, you're lowballing people this much, you're clearly not a manifestation expert. I've heard just so many of them that my head's just going to explode. But here is the good thing. I definitely do believe in manifestation. I definitely do believe that when you put a very concentrated mental effort into something, a concentrated visualization effort into something, along with added action, you will see a stunning result. But the reason why you're not getting any results is, here it goes, you're all biting off more than you can chew. You're diving into the deep end before you have any level of proficiency. So if you read anything, Think and Grow Rich, right? You read that, and that's a fantastic book, and the message is always the same. Stick with it. If you can imagine it, you can do it, right? And that's absolutely the truth. I mean, like I've said in many of my other videos, there are all of these entrepreneurs, all of these businesses in the past, Nike, McDonald's, Lego, you name it, Dyson, like you name it. There's so many businesses where the founders had nothing. Ray Kroc from McDonald's had to beg, borrow, and steal just to survive, to keep things going. Lego, my God, Lego used their first vehicle, their first company vehicle, to ship grenades and weapons for the Danish underground resistance during German occupation during the war. Their factory burned down twice. People were bartering with them to pay them in butter and milk and eggs because they didn't have any money. The guy was broke, but he persisted, and that is the key. It's persistence. But let's just say that you believe that you want to put your mind to the test, that you legitimately believe in the concept of, I'm going to focus on it, I'm going to visualize it, I'm going to affirm it, and it's going to show up like that. Let's just say that that's what you believe and that's what you want to have happen. Well, I'll tell you, I do personally believe that it happens. I have seen it happen recently. As a matter of fact, if you watch my video, which I've got it up here, does manifestation work? I was amazed. I did this one little thing, this one little exercise, and within 48 hours, not even 48 hours, more like 36 hours, I saw exactly the thing that I had visualized, not just see it. I mean, we're talking about a rubber duck. Go back and watch that video. I'll even post a link here. But I'm talking about a rubber duck, visualizing it, describing it in my head, feeling it, seeing the little made in China on it, stamped on it, just the definition of the beak, the feeling in my hand, the smell of the rubber. I had all of that in my head. Within 24 hours, I woke up and I see somebody's got their Facebook profile set to a rubber duck. And I'm like, okay, great. Well, that's good and all. It's a rubber duck, but is it quite what I was looking for? Not exactly. But that night, which was, still, like I said, less than 48 hours later, that night, I went out to a bar restaurant with some friends. And since it was full, we decided to sit at the bar so that we had a place to sit right away. And where me and my friends sat at the end of the bar, right next to where I sat, was a bucket. I'm not kidding, a bucket, a pail like this big, full of rubber ducks. Full of rubber ducks. As a matter of fact, I should have actually brought it. It's sitting in my bathroom right now. It's a bucket full of ducks. It wasn't one duck. It was like 200 ducks, if you can believe that. And so, of course, I asked the waitress, hey, can I take one of these with me? And she said, yes. And you'll see it. If you watch the video, you'll see that. That was amazing. That is the key. You cannot just dive into the deep end, because what happens when you dive into the deep end? You fail and then you lose faith. That is the quickest way to lose faith. So much like going to the gym, if you decide you're going to change things, you're going to set yourself on a new course, you're going to have a new life, you're going to have a new body, and you start January 1st, boom, you're at the gym. And let's just say you're completely out of shape. You start going to the gym, you invest 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. Now you're up to a week, 2 weeks, and you say, man, I don't notice any difference. My energy levels are the same. My stomach is still just as big. I don't have any muscle definition. This isn't working. And so now you're down to 3 days a week, then 2 days a week, then 1 day a week, until finally a month later, you're just not going to the gym anymore because you've lost faith in the process altogether. You have to dive into it very shallowly, right? You have to walk into it. Don't go into the deep end. Don't go for billions of dollars. If abundance of money is what you're looking for, don't just dive into the deep end. Don't just say, I imagine myself to have $1 million, to earn $1 million a month, and it feels amazing, and I'm going to affirm this, and it's great. It's also so unrealistic, All these stories about these entrepreneurs that I've read are fantastic, but it's also a crawl, walk, run process. Why was I able to manifest a duck? Because a duck was small, it was easy, it was manageable. It's a small thing, it's this freaking big. So it was so easy to pull out of thin air and make happen. But if I would have said, I want a mansion by the end of the week, I want to have a job that pays me $500,000 a year by the end of the week, by the end of the year, it's just so far out of reach that for me to go for that, the amount of mental focus, visualization, energy that has to go into creating this thing is clearly going to take more than a day. So if you're sitting there and you're dedicating yourself to visualizing daily, to writing your goals out daily, to affirming this thing that you want so passionately on a daily basis, do yourself a favor and do it slow. Start small. Start with the little things. If you're losing faith in the process of manifesting, what I want you to do is actually manifest something small. A pencil, a feather, a balloon, something. But don't just go for the goal. Don't just go for the mountain. Take little small steps, right? Baby steps. Crawl, walk, run. Nike, huge company. Lego, huge company. Adidas, huge company. All these companies started with nothing. In fact, they were in a deficit. But it took consistency, it took faith in the process, and they made it happen, right? They created these things out of thin air. Lego was created out of thin air. The guy worked with wood, he was a carpenter. And what do they specialize in today? Little plastic blocks, colored blocks, right? So, what I want you to do is, if you believe in manifestation, truly believe in it, and you really have lost the faith and you want to figure out how to get yourself back on track, what I want you to do is, you can have this big thing right here, or you can try the little thing right here. And I want you to get rid of this big thing and focus on the little thing. Manifest something small. Manifest something small consistently. Even if you get that thing, you get your rubber duck, you get your pencil, your balloon, your feather, whatever it is that you want, your flowers, your blue flowers. Focus on those things. Do it once. Get it. Feel good. Feel confirmed. Do it again. Feel it. Feel good. Feel confirmed. And just do that consistently until you get to the point where you're like, man, I just really got a knack for this. I can make these things appear in a matter of days just by concentrating. Don't just dive into the big things, because if you say, look, I want that guy at the gym. I want that girl at the gym who I always see, who's just gorgeous and is way out of my league. But I imagine myself one day to just walk in there and this person is just walking up to me, asking me out. I want that mansion. I want that job that pays $1 million a year. I want a Bugatti. I don't know. Whatever it is that you want, you're swinging for home runs. You're swinging for grand slams when all you need to do at this point is get to first base. Get to first base. Feel it, embrace it, understand that you need to sell this process to yourself, all right? You really need to understand it. It's almost like falling in love, right? We don't just fall in love overnight. We don't just meet someone and boom, the next day we're like ready to walk down the aisle. We're ready to dive into everything and move in with this person and just go full board. No, that's not the way that works. The way it works, and every single love starts this way. Every single love that's lasted a lifetime, years, started with a very small connection. It started with meeting, attraction. It started with conversation. It started with just seeing each other on a more consistent basis, making love, like connecting physically. It started with these small things until it became this massive, beautiful, energetic thing. So remind yourself of that. If you're not able to manifest, if you believe manifestation is true and you believe you have the capability, but nothing is happening for you and you're telling yourself, this isn't working. I'm tired of watching these damn videos where everybody keeps saying, I can do it in a matter of days. I've become a master manifester. And by the way, why don't you take my class? It only costs $30 a month. Come on. Come on. If you are a master manifester, you don't need to charge customers money. You don't need to do that. If you're a master manifester, you have abundance any way you go. You have you could walk outside and find $100 bill on the ground every hour of every day, right? If you're a master manifester, that's what you could do. But you're not. But you're trying to sell that to people and you want them to pay for your services. That's just not how that works. So you don't need those people, all right? You don't need to pay for this. All of this information is available at your fingertips, and all of it is literally available to you. You do live in a universe full of abundance. We do have an imagination for a reason, for the purpose of creation. So if you find yourself the type of person who daydreams on a daily basis, great. Embrace that. Visualize that. I will tell you, with my relationship, I'd lost it recently and now I've gained it back. And one of the things that I've done is, of course, I was the type of person who had a lot of anxiety in the relationship. So what I did was I started to replace that anxiety. Anytime negativity creeps in, anytime the ego creeps in, I kick it out of the room. I literally just say it out loud, get the hell out of here. And then I replace whatever that ego was telling me with positive thoughts, with positive affirmations. I imagine that person saying to me, I love you so much. I love you. I want to be with you. And I've gotten such a dramatic change in energy from this person. It's amazing, the dynamic that we have today. But it wasn't just on her. It was on me too. I needed to correct my energy field, and you need to correct yours too. So take that going forward. Stop going for the deep end. Get used to the shallow water at first. Get used to swinging for first base. When you get used to swinging for first base and making it there on a very consistent basis, I mean, try it once, try it twice, try it 10 times. Give yourself that line in the sand. If you can create something out of thin air 10 times in a row, be ready to go to the next level. Feel comfortable enough to go to the next level. Go for it. But don't just start off with the deep end. Walk in, wade into this process. That way you build confidence in it. If you jump into going for the big thing immediately, what's going to end up happening is it's not going to happen. You're going to lose faith in the process. And then this amazing capability that we all possess is going to be wasted because you don't believe that it's actually legitimate. And you'll just end up sitting here watching manifestation videos day in and day out, wondering why it is that everybody else seems to be a master manifester, but you are not. That's all I got for you today. If this type of information is interesting to you, please subscribe to my channel. I love to have new subscribers. I'm trying to build this channel, obviously. I'm not asking for any money. I'm not asking for anything. The only thing I want in return is just to be able to provide you with growth information. All right? Have a great day.